Hi, my name is Don Turnberg. My wife and I moved into Incarnation Parish in October of 1959, and we came with a few kids. They couldn't all get into school at the one time, so some of them had to go to the public school until they found room for us, for our kids. You know, some of my older kids, one or two of them went over to Barton's, and where did the other ones go? I forget now. And at that time there were two school buildings too, and still there wasn't room for my kids in school until the following year. And I got to be active in Incarnation. The parish seemed to be a parish of people that welcomed newcomers and welcomed people in there. We felt at home, so I got involved. Well, I got started in lecturing when the program first got the okay from the diocese that allowed lay people to take an active part in Mass. I was one of the first ones. Jim Keane was another one. Louis Bidor was another one, and Tom Daly. We were among the first ones. And when we first started, we had the microphone in the sacristy to do the readings. We weren't even out on the altar yet until we got accustomed to speaking to a microphone and facing a congregation. That's not an easy thing to do. And then eventually we moved out into the altar there so the congregation could see who we were. And I've been reading ever since, taking my turn. And I still read now, where I'm living at now. I read once a week. And I got involved that way, and then I got involved with the Oktoberfest. Margaret Hanna, Don Crawford, and Audrey Palin and myself were the first co-chairmen of the Oktoberfest. And it ended up, I think a couple of us went on the second year too. And that was supposed to be the fundraiser to raise all the funds we needed. But it never worked out that way. There was always something extra that had to be made, but we put a lot of work into it. I think the date that we had set aside for that kind of dictated the title of it. It was basically designed to go the first part of October, so that they called it the Oktoberfest then. And as luck would have it, the first weekend in October also turned out to be opening hunting weekend. So all the guys, a lot of the guys were gone hunting. Me not being a hunter, I stayed around. And all the ladies, they were all widows that weekend, hunting widows. We were all co-chairmen, we all had a say in it. We all thought it was a good idea, and it was, because they really brought the crowds in. Incidentally, before we go too far, that parking lot under the school was an idea of Father Toohey. Yes, Father Toohey. His insistence that we have this space under the school for parking or whatever, that provided some of the space for our activities out at the Oktoberfest. Well, the idea was there, and it was up to the trained architects and so forth to design it that way, and they did. We had, when we come into the parish, they had at least 2 masses upstairs and 2 masses downstairs at the same time every Sunday, besides a single mass before what was it, about 6 or 7 o'clock, and a single mass after that. We were having 6 masses a Sunday. Whoever had guts enough up in front of a congregation and read. Mm-hmm. And that's something that everybody is not capable of doing, and some people realize that. It takes a special gift from the Lord to be able to stand up in front of a number of people and even read. And of course, the more you do it, the more practice, the better you get at it. And like the old saying is, practice, practice, practice. That helps. That helps. Well, a few things I remember is Will Volkenat. We used to get up 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning, get the charcoal going for our roast beef. When we had the roast beef, it was done on the spit there, and I don't know, somebody engineered a big spit, and they built it, and we used to be able to roast, maybe a dozen roasts on there at a time. And Will Volkenat, he used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning there and get the charcoal going so that they could get the roast going to cook that beef, and that beef was delicious. I think Joe Kenny, that was his department. He took care of the roasted corn on the cob. Joe Holtzinger, he was the pop man. He brought a trailer down that had pop, and he'd bring a trailer down and park it, and he sold pop it there, and Joe Kenny and Sue took care of the corn on the cob, and I think the first people to cook the beef, I think, was Art Harlan. He was the cook as far as the beef was concerned. And Florent Hyman, he was kind of in charge of fixer-upper stuff, like a maintenance individual. Things to go haywire, he'd be right there to take care of it, and as best he could, as best as anybody could under those conditions. And they used to have bingo over in the school. But the Happy Wanderers, man, they really got that place a jumping. Oh, the people would come down there, even if they didn't dance, they'd want to come down there, they'd pay admission just to sit and listen to them. And they were a group, man, oh man. And they had a good time, everybody else had a good time too. And when they had a good time, they played like everything. Well, there was bingo there other than the Oktoberfest, yeah. And you had to get people to sell the cards and stuff. And I never cared much about playing bingo, but I would like to go down there. I'd like to go down there and help out and call bingo. And my wife would like to go down there and play. The thing about bingo was when they started to get pull tabs in, they kind of let the bingo go because of Minneapolis City licensing and permits and stuff like that. The bingo wasn't worth all the hassle there, all the record keeping and everything, and they diverted most of that energy to the pull tabs, which was bring in better returns than the bingo was. And it got to be too much of a hassle, so they just let the bingo go and concentrated on the pull tab.